to our show. I'm your host, Brenda.
And I'm Sai.
And today we'll be talking about our nostalgic memories of the land of the rising sun. Sai,
Yes.
I want to know something. What was your first impression of the U.S.?
If I'm gonna be honest, my first impression was actually wow. And then my final impression was eh. Eh. It just became like, how I feel about Japan with like the whole nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of becomes like the scenery I see always.
So how did you feel when you came back to Japan to visit?
Oh, it was a great memory. First, I literally went, let me take a breath of how Japan like smells like.
The air.
The air.
Clean air.
Clean air. Well, not really clean, but
less polluted than the New York area.
Definitely.
I mean, I don't know how it is in Tokyo, like the air, because I only went there for a day, and I only went to like the airports.
Usually where the airport is located is more in the, how should I say, more in the natural part. Like, you don't really smell like a lot of pollutions, if that makes sense. I mean, you went through, there's two Puko, which means airport, which is Narita and Haneda. Which one did you take?
I took Narita, I think, on my way to Japan. And then I had to take Haneda to go to Kobe.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I loved Haneda Airport.
Oh, which one did you like the most?
Narita has a lot more for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Narita, I think I have fonder memories of it because that was my first
airport.
My first on my own experience. Because everything else I was with all the exchange students. And here I was just with a small group of exchange students and we were left to our own defenses.
Oh man, it's like exciting, but also kind of like you have that memory of excitement plus anxious a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like...
It's a good memory.
Definitely, because the difference between Narita and Haneda is that I believe Narita has a lot more souvenirs and stores, right?
It's a big, big, big airport, but it's mostly malls.
Yeah, it's amazing. You would think it's like the American dream, the mall,
Oh my god, it's even bigger than American Dream.
Oh, it is. It could fit an amusement park. Well, Haneda is like more like smaller, but it's still really nice. Like they keep their airport really clean, nice. It feels more welcome.
Yeah.
I come back here. I came back to the Newark airport, and it feels like little depressing because it's not as clean or and
that
things
reminds me of a story I have. I remember when I came back from Japan, and it was in San Francisco. We had to come from Haneda no. We took Narita, from Narita to San Francisco.
Oh.
And so, what happened is that... Ooh, embarrassing. Okay, so what happened is that I bumped into someone, right? And my mind was still in Japan.
Oh.
After being there for like 2 months.
So
you know what I said?
What is it?
Sumimasen.
Oh my gosh.
And this lady just looked at me like I was crazy, and it was so embarrassing. I was like, wait, wrong country.
Oh, that reminds me, is there a habit that you kind of picked up because of that travel, like while you were in Japan, and then when you came back, you were like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was in me, but it's still in me, kind of like.
Yeah, definitely the sumimasen thing stayed with me for a while. Oh yeah, if the audience doesn't know what sumimasen means, it means like excuse me. Or like I'm sorry. Like usually when you bump into someone. But other habits that could stay with me was like how you call over someone by waving your hand almost as if you're saying like go away.
Oh yeah, the gesture of like it feels like you're shooing someone.
It feels like you're shooing someone, but you're asking for someone to come over.
Yeah, for me it was like the bowing.
Oh, definitely the bowing
right?
With me too. I still do that with cars.
It's like in Japan, people bow for respect gesture. So that kind of like stays, right? Like whenever I remember we were both crossing the street to like go to the other part, and we both like bowed at the car. God. Like we're like, oh, thank you for stopping.
So funny.
I know. Oh man, so nostalgic. I mean, now we do it. Like you said, we will be seen as like, is your head alright? Like,
for sure.
Well, I have a question, Brenda. Going back on like the first impression, what was your first impression when you got to Japan, and then your final impression when you were leaving?
My first impression, I think this is a callback to one of our first episodes. And my first impression was like, wow, this is like an amazing place, right? Like so much stuff I've seen on like TV. I think now I'm going to experience it. And I think my final impression still stayed the same. Like I was still very amazed by everything. But I've already experienced so much of this stuff that everything met my expectation, really.
Oh,
very
that's
nice.
Awesome. So how was it like when you were like, saying goodbye?
Oh my god, I cried at the airport that day. Like, I remember fondly that we were at the airport and me and my host sisters were just standing around just laughing because we became like family by that time anyway. So we were just laughing and everything, and then once it came for me to like go through the security point, we started crying.
Oh,
so sad. And then like when all of the exchange students from Quebec boarded the plane, we all sat in silence. And we all cried. It was so funny.
That's
now I think about it.
That's so funny, but also like so touching because it means that you guys really, really like that bond will never go away.
Yeah, for sure.
The people you met and the time you spent.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Now that the holidays are coming around, it reminds me of like how like every year me and my host family send each other a package of like Christmas stuff.
Really?
So that just reminded me that I need to ship my package soon.
Oh no, now you reminded me I have to send my like gift for my friend in Japan as well.
Oh, how cute.
I know. She is currently living there and sometimes I call her on, we use this thing called Line, which is like a FaceTime but also a text messenger in Japan that is commonly used. And through that you can do like the same function of every other like FaceTime. Like we FaceTime and she showed me around the places in Japan and the convenience stores. And I just was like, please stop. Now you're making me remind of how Tokyo, how it was like to live there.
That reminds me of like the scenery in Japan and like media recently, not even recently, like for the past 10 years maybe. How westernized Japan's becoming. It's so... Because I remembered how you mentioned your friend with the convenience stores. That reminded me of how 7-Eleven, oddly enough, it's so international.
Oh,
but somehow Japan made it so much better.
Oh, wait, do you have an example for you?
Yeah, I'm thinking about how the sweets, like crepes and stuff.
Oh, okay,
they take Western concepts, but they make it better.
No,
or suit their culture.
They definitely make it in a way that's it suits their culture, but at the same time presenting that westernization in their own way. You would think it's not original, but wait until you see it and you'll be like, this is only in Japan kind of thing.
I respect that thing so much where you're taking oh my god, this sounds so bad. But you're taking something, right? But you're not losing your own touch, right? They're westernizing, right? But they're not losing their identity, per se.
Yeah, definitely. They try to keep that we are Japan kind of pride while
for sure
introducing different things. It's all about how can we introduce in a way that still presents our country. Kind of thing.
Yeah, I really appreciate that so much.
I love that so much, which makes me question when are we ever going back there? Do you have a plan in your head?
I really want to go after graduation. I also really wanted to go a few years ago because after graduating high school, but poor.
Yeah.
And then I was saving up, right? And then COVID happened, and now all my savings went boop. But now I'm still saving up now, so I want to go back as soon as possible after all this COVID stuff is over and they open up the country because they're closed right now, right?
I think I heard how they were opening up, but even those who are vaccinated or not vaccinated, they still have to stay and quarantine themselves for 10 to 12 days. 14 days, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it's strict even if you're so
instead of a week trip, you'd have to make a month trip.
Exactly. You can't
just for the quarantine.
So when you go there, you're you gotta expect that you're 1 week at this advantage. So then you would have to look for ways to make up for that, which is by staying longer.
True. So Sai, what are you gonna do when you get back?
Definitely
Also, you became an adult in the past 2 years, right? So, like,
Adult.
like adult in Japan.
So, like, I think the first thing I would do is definitely go to my grandpa's house and just, say hi to my grandma who passed away.
Aw.
And then say hi to my, like, aunt and uncle who live there, and then meet my friend and hang out, and then enjoy the vacation in Japan. I don't think I ever want to live there, just because, like,
I agree.
I feel like those kind of things are really fun when you go as a vacation, but when it becomes like part of your lifestyle, maybe you might lose that dream. I don't know. What about you, Brenda?
I agree, because like when I was younger, of course I dreamed about living in Japan, but I've already reached that dream per se. But now as an adult, like thinking about if I would live there again, like I feel like I like the lifestyle, but also I'm too used to my lifestyle here.
Yeah, I completely.
It'd be like a weird shift for me.
Yeah, and plus I feel like in Japan I have this image because everyone is really, really polite, and that's like the culture.
Yeah.
Where you have to be polite even to a stranger. So like I feel like at one point it might feel a little bit hard. As in, like, you know how America is all about being direct of your emotions and stuff? Well, in there, it's more about, like, roundabout of how you feel.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a pro and con where you live. And I feel like I got so comfortable living here, like you said.
Yeah.
And I feel like Japan is more of, like, a dream world that I would like to go. It's, like, so much entertainment. And if you have a friend there, it's also a plus. And it just becomes a place where you're like, I want to spend my vacation. This would be like the highlight of my year.
It's like the perfect place to have like a long vacation.
Yes,
like,
definitely.
Take up that whole visa. Take up that whole time.
Wait, but Brenda, if you ever go back, what would you do first?
If I'm gonna be honest, I'm just gonna explore Tokyo for the first time because I didn't get to explore Tokyo. And everyone goes to Japan for Tokyo. Like, come on, come on. And after I do that, true. I'm definitely gonna visit my host family in Kobe, and obviously hit up Osaka again.
Yes,
all my favorite places once more, and then I'm just gonna explore and have a blast.
I know. Would you say that you would bring someone with you on that travel?
Well, yeah, my besties, of course.
Yeah. Am I in that list?
Of course. Like, come on. Yes. I need a translator somehow.
Yo. I'm joking. All right. Am I getting 25 cents an hour?
25 cents an hour. Yes.
But yes.
Okay, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining us for our final episode.
Yes, the long travel and the long travel.
The long travel and the
wonderful time that we spent here talking about our memories and nostalgia we felt. And I hope that this podcast made you guys feel like you want to go there.
Yes, I agree. And I hope you learned a lot of things from us.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Thank you for joining us all this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And bye-bye.
Sayonara.